everyone. Welcome to Guru Canggu. So we have today an amazing guest. This is a series of podcasts that we present from live from Guru Canggu, where the world meets in Bali. So I have Marco Lastrucci with me, which is an amazing partner doing In
Ciao,
Crime.
Francisco.
Thank you so much for this idea again.
Yeah.
And we have Yoram Zekri.
Hey.
So I was correct, yeah?
Perfect.
Man, your name is not easy to memorize.
True.
Anyway, I met Yoram in Amed, where it's an amazing place in Bali where you do scuba diving and you do snorkeling, and a lot of sea activities. And it was during the moment that the business was not moving on, yeah? There was a lot of slowdown motion in business. And I defied him to do a movie night here, and it was one of the most popular movie nights, The Big Blue. And people just loved it, yeah? It was great.
A great movie, yeah.
Yeah, great movie. So I'm going to introduce you with the first question. I know you do this work for many years. So when did you start and when and where?
So thank you for welcoming me here. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. And so freediving is a big part of my life actually. I started when I was 13 years old, freediving. But before that, actually, when I was 8, I started with swimming. And then at 12, I passed my first level in scuba diving. You know, when you breathe with a scuba tank. At 12, and then at 13 years old, I watched the movie The Big Blue. It's a French movie.
13.
13.
Wow.
Yeah, long time.
That's amazing,
I
yeah.
was just a teenager at this time, and so the Big Blue movie is quite famous in France and now all over the world as well. And I really fall in love with this movie. I say, wow, that's really what I want to do. So I just start to hold my breath, lying on my bed, you know, listening the music of The Big Blue, and or just alone in my bath tube. And it was quite amazing to just starting these feelings already, you know, freediving. So I did many mistakes because I was doing alone, you know, I had no idea about safety.
Yeah, of course.
So, but yeah, I'm still alive, luckily. And that's when everything started. That's when everything started.
Yes, you are still alive, yeah.
You get this passion early time, 13 years old.
Yeah, as a kid already. Just like before, I didn't know that it was actually existing. But always in the water, as a kid, I always wanted to spend all time.
And then I'm
in the
sure
water.
you met some teacher. I mean, someone that...
Teacher, but you know, at this time, no one was really doing freediving. There was no freediving school anywhere.
So can I situate you? You were where?
So at this time I was in Perpignan, in the south of France, close to Spanish border on the Mediterranean Sea. So luckily I was living close to the sea, and as a family we had like a family boat. One summer we went on the boat, and so I was able to already swim and snorkeling. And my dad was as well liking spur fishing, so he introduced me spur fishing a bit early as well. And that's where everything started for me.
So your family was connected with the sea already?
Already, yeah.
Even it was a recreative way, yeah?
Of course, yeah. No freediving at all, but close to the sea, yeah, definitely. And then at 13, I started alone, and then a bit later, when I was 15, 16, I was keep going with my schoolmates, and I remember buying like small pair of fins, and a bit like in the movie The Big Blue actually, a big like small pair of fins. I was wearing like 5 kilo.
He's a pioneer.
Yeah, 5 kilo weight belt was like way too much, you know. And just start diving as deep as I can, and started like that.
And when you realize that more than a passion, like between friends, was something more like to be a sportsman and to
so actually
go for something more.
Yeah, as a teenager it was difficult
competitive.
because I was still in school. But then I stopped school and I started to work with my dad actually in my family company. It was a bit little company where we were selling, you know, like towels, blankets, stuff like that for our house. And then I said, well, this thing is not for me. I don't want to do that for my life, right? So I said to my dad, sorry, I leave, and I go. This time I went to Nice, still in the south of France,
yes,
close to
Mediterranean
the Mediterranean Sea. Because there actually some guys, just 3 or 4 guys were training freediving. I said, I want to train with these guys. I want to go and.
Because you already saw the movie, yeah?
Yeah.
So you were really.
We were just going training.
Yeah. Actually, I was 20. So at 20, I moved to Nice and start to train for competition. So this is the year I did my first competition. This is the year where I become vice world champion, and I start my first French national record as well at this time. Quickly,
With 20.
Yeah, 20.
Wow.
So I was the youngest at this time doing freediving, and but we have to know that it was not really organized like now. Now there is many freediving schools, there is many competition all over the world. At this time, all of that didn't exist. It was just few guys like Umberto Pellizzari, the Italian famous guy,
I remember.
he's really my good friend, and he did some world record, many world record. But he was the only one. Another one in a Cuban guy, Pipin, he was diving as well. But it was just few guys doing their own stuff by their own, but nothing was existing.
There was not the structure to teach.
Nothing.
People were doing freeway, yeah?
Nothing. So we met as a group, and in France, and we started to train as a group. So we are like kind of guru a little bit, teacher there.
A guru.
Yeah.
A wild guru.
Don't look at me, yeah?
Yeah, and his name was Claude Chapuis. He's still
I like
famous.
the story when he got
Yeah,
there.
and we were a bit kind of teenager or 20, 21, and he was trying to hold us a bit because we always want to go deeper and do like that. And this is the time when we start to create frame and structure for freediving training and for freediving education, freediving competition. So everything started at this time.
So everything as a rule, as a standard, as a
Yeah.
structure, starting those days.
Start these days.
So this is
1996, 1997.
Okay.
1996 was the first world championship for freediving.
Oh,
And
okay.
then now it's super famous. Now you have one world championship every 2 years, and
No, because I was checking the world record, and I think you guys, as a freediver, you are doing such an amazing and performance that I'm really impressed. I mean, I'm not really water friendly myself, even if I'm improving. Thanks for a freediving course that I did 4 years
You
ago.
did freediving course?
Yeah, I don't even reach the 10 meter, but it was like a freedom. Wow, just going there, and the teacher was really good.
Yeah,
Easy.
that's what
Really, I really appreciate the things. And so I was checking, and there is a lot of, as you say, different discipline. Can you tell us something about the most important?
Disciplines. So first of all, freediving is not only for freediving as to go as deep as you can or you hold your breath as long as you can. Freediving, there is a huge range of different possibilities. It's really good as a cross training for the sport because you will work on your respiratory system, you will work on your stress management, you know, because when you hold your face in the water, it's stressful to think, oh, I need to breathe, right? This is what everybody feel. So when you work on that, when you learn how to switch your state of mind in a calm, relaxed way, and then actually enjoying it, then it can help you for different challenge you have in life, or the sport, or for work, or for any kind of stress you can have in life. So that's very important already for that. So many people use freediving as a cross training for different sports. So I used to train surfers when they get stuck in the water, you know, in the washing machine.
So you give a course for surfers, exactly.
surfers,
Freediving for surfers,
Yeah. And I used to train as well MMA fighters because Mike
because they get stuck in the lock-ins.
Yeah, but it's more like for stress management as well because you know, and it can be stressful and can be, and for all the fixation of oxygen in your blood, we work on that when you train freediving.
Wow.
So that's already many different activities.
So it's a discipline that it can work with any kind of sport to improve to achieve better results.
Yeah, sport or as well for work. When you work, we are stressed by your work. You know, stress is a little of stress is all good because it gives you some too much
push.
stress and then performance in every kind of things will put you down a bit. But there is freediving for freediving, Marco, as you said. There is different disciplines.
Yeah.
So there is discipline for pool discipline. There is competition in a pool. So we call that dynamic. Is when you have to swim horizontal distance, right? World record is more than 300 meters. Without breathing. So imagine to do more than 300 meters underwater. So there is with fins, no fins, or by fins, mono fins, different category like that. Then there is as well static. Static is when you hold your breath without moving. So this is the time. World record is nearly 12 minutes. Can you imagine how long is that? And
without
then,
breathing,
without breathing. Yeah, and without taking pure oxygen as well, just with normal air. And then there is also deep discipline. So same, you have with fins, with monofins, without fins when you just swim like that with like breaststroke, or there is some assisted dive, like we call that variable weight or no limit. It's when you use a sled, so it's a weight going down, and then you have two options: or you go back by yourself, or kicking or with your legs, or you can use as well a balloon. That's no limit, my favorite discipline actually, where you inflate a balloon at the bottom and you come back to the surface with the balloon. So that's the deepest.
So you inflate at the end when you reach the limit.
Yeah, like in the big blues, like the movie.
We are going to see during the edition of the podcast the footage you have coming
that's
up.
No limit. Yeah,
You did it in Tahiti, that one, yeah?
Tahiti was my deepest dive there in Tahiti.
I would like to ask you a question regarding the sea. Because I was born next to the sea, and I would walk feet naked to the beach every day in the morning during summer. In those days, summer were 4 months. In Portugal, no school for 4 months. And there's this feeling that when you go inside the water, there's another world there. Yeah, you go in another dimension. Can you tell your feelings regarding that, or I'm just flying too much? What do you feel when you go inside the water? Deep?
That's a bit philosophy, then we go, we cross another world. So yeah, for me the same. Like when I go underwater, I go home. Yeah, that's
you go home.
You go home.
Wow.
I feel like it's a world where it's more silence, it's more peaceful. Like no one will disturb you there. You feel like you are protected. A bit like the warmth of your mom, right? All of us spend 9 months in the warmth of your mom in the water, protected. So that's what we feel. Well, when you are in the warmth of your mom, you have to don't worry about anything. And when I go deep, I feel a bit this sensation. I feel like, wow, I'm home. I know now I feel good and protected. Yeah, that's the feeling I have when I dive. Just talking about that, I have like,
So back into the training, I would like to know, to train for this discipline, you're talking about stress, controlling the stress, and also physical training. So is more physical exercise or mental training? And when you train someone, what do you do? What do you?
So of course it depends of your level, but in general we have to train both ways. Mental training I think is the most important in freediving because you have to be really relaxed. If you are stressed or if you are not happy to dive, you will actually not perform and you can hurt yourself if you try to go deep and you don't want to go. If you decide to run, as well if you don't really want to run for training, okay, I go to run, and you go to run, you don't risk anything. But if you dive and you plan to do a deep dive and you don't want to do it and you're still doing it, you have the best chance to hurt badly your lungs and can be very bad. So you have to be happy to dive, first things, and to be really relaxed when you do it and enjoy it. Otherwise, it doesn't work at all in freediving. You can hurt yourself badly.
So you have to find first a mental frame, and you have to be inside.
You have to find a good state of mind, and that we learned during the course already as a beginner to switch your state of mind from stress to really relaxed and to switch in underwater mode. That's what we want to do for your mind. That's the first thing you learn in the freediving course, how to breathe, to then switch your state of mind. Okay, I'm totally relaxed and now I really want to do it. So you will feel that, and more you train, more you switch quickly to this underwater mode.
Do you feel that breathing is a master technique to achieve what you are just speaking about?
Yes, exactly. How to breathe before the dive is really linked with relaxation. You can't relax if you don't learn how to breathe. That's really linked together. So relaxation is achieved with a good, proper breathing before to dive. So that's really important. And then, of course, you need to do physical training. So first, as a beginner as well, but as well as expert, technique. You need to learn on your technique, how to kick properly, how to be streamlined, how to train like that in the water already, and do some deep training and pool training. But then you can do as well cross training when you get a bit more advanced. If you want still progressing, you will need to go to CrossFit, to go to the gym, and to work your ability to have strong muscles and make them work less oxygen, to be efficient with oxygen. So that's a full program as well at the gym, but in your diet as well. And then a bit all your life.
Also diet is important.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah. We are telling your life story. It's good, the techniques. We are here to understand your position regarding your work as a diver and your passion.
Yeah.
But the parkour, the human parkour you have, it's important to go. So you are a young kid, you live in France, in the Mediterranean Sea, which is a beautiful place. There is this amazing Spanish movie as well with the kids on the beach. I don't remember the series. I remember seeing it. So this summer in the Mediterranean Sea is amazing feeling. Yeah, the water is calm. So, and from there you go and try to meet other guys who have the same passion, and then you start going to structure a kind of free diving philosophy or even techniques. And this is 20 years old. And when was the big jump? When did you decide I want more than this? I want to go to some place where my expectations can be truly fulfilled.
Yeah. So first, when I arrived in Nice, when I started to meet these people, then I knew already. Okay, I want to perform. I want to be one of the world's best in freediving, and I will dedicate my life right now 100% to my training. So that's already 96, 97, when I was 21, 22 years old, that I decided to, okay, now I want to do freediving and nothing else. So I was actually a bit too much obsessed with freediving, right? I was sleeping freediving, eating freediving, like everything for freediving. And that's when I get results, actually.
That's why you are vice champion, of course.
So I became to be good. And then in 1999, I left France and I moved to Tahiti in French Polynesia. So that was another dimension in terms of sea life that you can see, another culture as well, because Tahiti is an amazing culture, and fall in love with Tahiti. So actually I went there with my mom and my sister for holiday. It was quite a long holiday, we spent 4 months, but then I didn't want to go back to France. So basically I went back 2 months to pack my stuff, say okay, bye guys, and I went directly to, I found a job there. And,
immediately as a scuba diving instructor?
Yeah, I was underwater cameraman at the beginning there.
Wow!
Yeah, because I am as well scuba instructor.
And
So I learned camera there, and I was underwater cameraman. So I was making videos with sharks and everything like that. Was really cool.
The water guy.
Now we need to explore. Now we have something to. Come on, give some juice about that experience. What were you doing? You were for a TV show, for a resort, or?
Yeah, for resort. I was working in a scuba shop for resort. What we are doing really easy was filming the tourists doing dive.
Okay, and they pay the movie.
They pay the DVD.
But
not something big. I was not for like National Geographic. No.
But you're still training at the time.
Yes,
for
so
freediving. But there is some sponsorship. There is something, or you have to work out everything for yourself, like.
Yeah, so you're right to ask that, because for 20 years it was really impossible for me to live for freediving only, from freediving only. I didn't get really a sponsor. The only sponsor you can get was equipment. It was already nice, but it's not how you live. So I was teaching freediving, because as well I am a freediving instructor, of course, from 1997 already. And but it was not super developed, so I didn't get many customers like we can have now, because it was quite new. No one knew what is freediving. That's no one really knew. So I did many jobs. So I was a flight attendant for Air France. I was.
So you're going in the air and then you go under the water. Yeah.
Exactly. I was sailing.
At the same moment?
Actually, you have to be careful a bit with that. But I was traveling. But I did flight attendant for 2 years, and I had a bit of break of freediving at this time. I didn't train much.
Okay.
But before that, I was doing many jobs to sustain myself, to still training. Yes. This is where I did the deepest dive in Tahiti. And
so when you were in the Air France, you were living in Tahiti already?
Yes. It was actually my last few years in Tahiti when I was flight attendant.
And that's in the end?
Yeah, so it was 2009, 2010, something like that.
So, but tell us the experience of Tahiti, because, when I see Tahiti and, it's like paradise, yeah? That's what you see in the movies, in the photos. What is the physical and real experience of living there and working there? In your perspective, obviously.
Yeah, so for diving, I think it's the best place in the world, definitely. This is where you have the most big variety of fish you can find in one dive. You will see many hundreds kind of different sharks, humpback whales, manta rays, all kind of fish you can imagine. You will have that in one dive. You can have 60 meters visibility. And it's deep, close to the shore as well. You have a lagoon, and then as soon as you pass the lagoon, you have the reef, and after the reef, you have already 2,000 meters deep quickly. So for freediving, it's really good as well, because we just go in the blue and we dive in the blue. Yeah, and go. So I think it's the culture as well. Is the place. Yeah, really love. If I have to say, okay, where is my because I lived in so many countries. If I have to decide, okay, choose what is your home, I will say Tahiti. Definitely, it's where I feel home there as well. It's my home. I have many friends there. So and I still go back as possible, as much as possible there to spend time there.
So you have the guy have a record of 141.
41 or 120?
20 is the official one. 41 is training.
Man, 40.
How is it 141 meters down the sea?
All right. So first is
when you
is,
I mean,
is
because it
training,
takes
yeah.
2 minutes to go down.
The total
with
dive
the-
is a bit more than 3 minutes. 3 minutes
More.
30 for the total dive. So you have to go down about 2 minutes probably.
First it's
is,
dark. I mean,
yeah,
it's totally dark. Then.
Yeah, as well in Tahiti it's dark. So because Tahiti is amazing visibility, but when you get there, is some place in the world you will not see anything. Of course, Tahiti is very dark, but you can
But
still
it's-
see a little bit. That's really nice. But you know, anyway, I close my eyes on the way down. I don't wear any mask.
You close the eyes.
Yeah, I don't wear any mask, so it's a bit like you open your eyes in the water, you don't see very clearly because you can't equalize your mask so deep, so you dive with a nose clip and then you have you can have
No.
goggles, but actually I put water in my goggles, so I don't see anything much. I just see the visibility, so I see if it's getting dark. And it's really beautiful sensation when you free fall in the dark like that. You know, you feel like wow, you change dimension.
The pressure tend to push you down.
So when you dive with a sled anyway, it push you
no,
down.
with the sled,
With
yes,
the sled
okay.
is different, with no limit. So it's just a journey. You grab the sled, open the brake, you're filling your lungs with air and you go down and you just feel the sensation. So basically if you don't open your eyes, but what you see is inside you. And what you will discover inside you is like, wow, it's amazing because you have so much physiological effect with a dive and you feel good and yeah, you just glide down like in a dream. It's cool.
What is in your experience? You come from the Mediterranean Sea, where you stayed, and you got your passion for the sea, yeah?
Yeah.
And then suddenly you pursue paradise, which you know for a fact this is the best place to do your sport. What do you feel being in Tahiti and going back in your memories and subconscious mind, going to your childhood with Mediterranean Sea? There are no parallel. It's completely different. Yeah.
It's different, but it doesn't mean it's not as good.
Okay.
Mediterranean Sea for me is really the origin of things. This is where I started freediving. This is where I was born. This is where the history of competitive freediving started
Wow.
with Umberto Pellizzari,
With
with
Italians.
Jacques Mayol before
And
that,
so
French
Mallorca.
guy in Mallorca. So this is really, and
The
the
place.
condition is really good as well. When you dive, I did one world championship as well in Sicilia. It's like so nice. No, in Sardinia, sorry, not Sicilia. Sardinia is so beautiful, and yeah, you have amazing place as well in Mediterranean Sea. So if you ask me to say, okay, what will be the best for you? Of course, condition. The water is warm in Tahiti. You have many fish, but the
emotion.
deep emotions is Mediterranean Sea. You
Wow.
don't have this emotion
Okay.
in Tahiti. The emotion and the you know when it's like you go in the old church or
It's
or
like,
the-
it's like you go to play at the Madison Square Garden.
yeah, it's like
Something serious.
you have all these kind of feelings when you can see
Yes.
old stones in a old building.
Wow.
You have Mediterranean Sea is a bit like that. You have much more emotion and history for me to Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, so both of them is like amazing for me.
I just want to make a small thing. I met you in Ahmed in this momentum of slow down of the planet. Yeah, we are
Oh,
living
yeah.
a slow down. And the connection I have with you is because we both have a son the same age. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, if I may ask you,
please.
he's not with you now. He
No, yeah. As you know, yeah, I have a son, 7 years
was-
old.
Yes, it's almost the age of my
okay.
son.
Yeah, he has a lot of health problem as well,
Yeah.
so that's very challenging. It's really it's my strong, but it's my weakness at the same time because it's make me emotional when I talk about him as well. He has a lot of health problem, so he has to stay in Perth. He's with his mum
In Australia.
Yeah. So we are divorced with his mum, but usually we share the time with him. But now I was not able to go for a year. I didn't
It's
go for a
difficult,
year.
huh?
It's difficult because you still have there is no 1 week when you don't have he's not going at the hospital or something like that, so it's quite bad. So it's difficult, but I will really do my best to go this year because now 1 year is way too long now, and his mum need a break as well because a lot of work for us to stay there, a lot of like difficulties, emotional difficulties. So yeah, I plan to go.
What's the name of your son?
Ocean?
Ocean. Wow, man.
Ciao, Ocean.
Boom! Beautiful, man. Do you believe, if I may ask, sorry, Marco, do you
Please.
believe that your skills of patience and calmness and control of anxiety because you go deep is helping you to face this momentum of being away with him and all that?
Of course, I think it helps. It doesn't mean that I'm not stressed.
You
and
don't
I'm
feel
not
it.
break inside sometimes. It's not an easy situation, but anyway, I don't think we have really the choice. That's the thing.
We need to be patient, yeah.
You have to be patient, and it's not like you have the. If I can go tomorrow, I will go tomorrow to Australia, definitely. But
cannot.
of course, to be able to relax. But it makes me inside very stressed as well of the situation sometimes. But
But you can manage it.
we
yeah.
can manage it. It's a bit
So,
more.
and that was the reason I invited you also for the movie night, because I didn't know you were. I didn't know he was a vice champion when he did the movie night. I didn't
Okay.
know. He didn't tell me. No, I do. And Anna was there, and I was very surprised. And then suddenly, everybody was here during the Big Blue, and they said it was one of the best movie nights.
Yeah.
That was the
a
feedback.
great
People
movie, yeah.
love it. The movie was one of the best because it's a classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
And the story is there, and we understand the freediving people and this thing. Now, Marco, it's your place. I just took a
No,
little bit of.
I would like to go back. I mean, I'm curious because all the free diver, like the mountaineer, recently are really pushing the limit of understanding of the human body, and going down at 140 meters, even more. Maybe 60 years ago was believed by the scientists to be impossible because they believe that at that depth your lung will collapse and you're gonna die. So now, what is the relation with the physician or the scientist with you as a sportsman? They are following you, they are studying you, they take information, and or they realize something new about
Of course, we
how
discover,
the body works.
Yeah, we discover there is still a lot of things to discover about freediving, and you're right. Like in the 50s, 60s, we were thinking, okay, 30, 50 meters we die because the lungs
Cannot
collapse.
stand
We collapse.
pressure.
Yeah, but because of science, we discovered then that no, it's actually possible to go deeper because something amazing happening in your lungs, blood shift, we call that. I will not go much in details, but it's the same like what's happened with dolphins and whales. So it shows us that millions of years ago we were like dolphins. We were able to dive because we have still some rest, some things around our lungs to make us possible to dive so deep. So definitely with science we discover that and other things, and we call that the mammalian dive response is something we have in common all mammals.
The
who show us
mammalian response.
yeah,
Mammalian,
mammalian
okay.
dive response. It's something we have in common with whales, dolphins.
When you touch the water.
Yeah, we
okay,
have many. If you do a freediving course, the level 2, you will learn about that. And
next
you're
time,
right.
next
Yeah,
time.
yeah, come.
When I finish level 1, I will do level 1.
You will do
We go
level one.
together, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and so that's amazing how the body adapts itself to freediving, to the pressure on the water, to how you breathe.
Amazing.
And it's like unbelievable.
So it looks like scientifically when Darwin says that we come from the water, with this kind of scientific fact,
Yes.
it's very clear that even we are far away from being inside the water through many millions of years, I would say. We still have some ability to understand water and be inside as a natural environment.
And to protect and to switch completely in the water mode. That's what is
brilliant.
Amazing. It's amazing. So science discovers still that today, and every day we discover a bit more about freediving. But still now we still think, oh, okay, maybe we'll have a limit. Now the limit will be maybe because of nitrogen, because we dissolve nitrogen, and we have the same effect like in scuba when you pack too much nitrogen in your blood, and then when you come back to the surface there is a problem. So now when we go very deep, we have this kind of problem with divers who go more than 200 meters. That's a problem. But we will see.
200 meters.
Yeah.
It's completely insane.
So, but we will see what the futures, we'll discover new things, and maybe we'll adapt ourselves again and go deeper. Who knows? Yeah, we'll see.
So being in Tahiti, I remember once you did the movie night, and then you showed some movies with you and the kids there, the local kids. You did some local activities with the local kids there, yeah? Or-
Yeah, locals, or all expats.
So what you did? You just went for scuba diving teaching? free, or-
No scuba diving. Actually,
Fishing,
I
yeah.
had a different program. One of the program was about for asthmatic people. So I was working with a hospital, and actually, scuba diving is forbidden for asthmatic people, but free diving is a must. Asthmatic people need to do free diving because for them it's like a re-education, a
I'm
breathing
asthmatic as
re-education.
well, man.
So we had actually amazing program and amazing results with people asthmatic, but really bad asthmatic, like who go to hospital.
You need to have a shot.
Yeah,
to
and
breathe,
then they
yeah.
come, start some breathing techniques and how to hold your breath, how to control all of that, and then we had amazing results. So that's a program I was doing in a pool, and as well with kids. So I teach kids free diving. It has to be like games. You can't ask a kid, okay, hold your breath as long as you can.
No,
It
it's a
doesn't work
game.
like
It's a game.
it's a game like
okay.
you show in a movie. So you have like many games underwater. So it's fun, but you teach them skills at the same time. That's very important and cool.
And that was in Tahiti.
Tahiti, yeah. I still do now. In
No, I was,
Ahmed, where I live.
yeah, because I was going to ask you how it happened then from Tahiti to move to Bali, to Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You are in paradise, and you come to paradise
And you
again.
changed paradise or?
yeah. So basically, after 12 years in Tahiti, and I was needed to see something else. It's okay to. So I moved actually to Israel for 1 year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from Israel I went to Sydney, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I met my ex-wife there. Then she was Australian, so I moved to Australia. And then from Australia, we decided this time to move to Bali because when we get a child, it was super expensive to raise a child in Sydney. It's
Yeah.
a crazy price, and I was not able to really do any
Do
free
your
diving
sport.
there because condition is not the best. So we decided to come in Bali because it's close from Australia, so our friends could come quite easy. And I was teaching free diving already in Sydney, so it was my full-time job. Actually, when I arrived in Sydney, this is where I was able to live from teaching free diving full-time.
And you were doing motivational speech. I saw some hotel full of people listening to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I did few, not like a job.
Yeah,
I
but
wish,
it was
I wish I
full.
could develop. Yeah, it was like about 300 or 400 people.
So you were inspiring people to see the positive side, or
Yeah, to talk about the experience and the gifts is like to when you learn how to breathe and all the benefits that can bring you free diving. A bit like I did here as well with you guys.
yeah, well, yeah, man. It was just he took the microphone and said, "Hey, stop! I will go on." Ba 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 ba. And I stayed quiet. You remember? Shut up. So one question regarding that, just to
I
then
see.
you will go for Bali. The champion, the record you did, the 120 meters official,
Yeah.
and the 141 meters non-official. They were done in Tahiti, yeah?
Yes.
So
Right.
can you just in a nutshell speak about that? Because the viewers, they was, oh, he's a vice champion, and they incorporate this as a very important skill and ability you did, yeah?
Yeah, so of course. So when I become vice world champion, it was in 1996 first. It
In
was
France?
In France. It was the first AIDA world championship. So it was not very deep at this time because again we were not really
Not prepared.
So I become actually vice world champion during just 40 meters deep and 4 minutes in static in a pool. So when you look at it now, it's like, oh wow, it's like a warm up, right? Now it's what we do for a warm up. But at this time it was one
Big.
of the,
It was the
it
limit
big,
at the
yeah.
time. Wow.
So but of course, 25 years later, so, all right, it looked like a warm-up dive, right? But yeah, but at this time it was deep.
Mhm.
So then in Tahiti, when I was doing 141, actually it was only 11 meters from the world record at this time in no limit. I
So
was-
that's why the vice champion.
no, vice champion vice is with this
In France.
In France.
But
Yeah.
the record you held in Tahiti is the second best deep diving figure in the world.
No, the second. I don't know if because in
Those days.
in no limits you don't have any competition basically.
But you can go. But there are the guys who say, officially, I went 200 meters.
Yeah, but basically there is one world record, but then we don't know if some people did. There is no ranking basically. There is a world record. and
What
then
was the world record when you did 120 official?
It was 152.
It's
That's-
not a big difference.
But I did 141, so it was only 11 meters away. Yeah.
Ah,
100. Okay, yeah.
But
of course.
then life going on, and then I was when I did 141, I said okay, now I stop, and I decide I will go back to training next year to beat the world record. But then something happened in life, and I was not able to do it. But that's quite okay. I'm happy to do what I did, and yes, I'm fine.
You want to explore the Bali experience because the reason you are here is because you are in Bali.
Of course.
And
Yeah,
that's what Marco was asking, yes?
No, I want to ask you. I ask him about our sea,
Yeah.
our blue sea. What do you think the situation is right now with all the problem of pollution and global warming? What is the point, the state of the sea, according to you?
Yeah, so actually in Bali, when we dive in Bali, because I had set up then a school in Bali, that's what we can see really the result of bad condition and lifestyle like humans have for many years now. And in Bali, we can see a lot of plastics. And it's really well known that Bali and Indonesia in general is one of the worst for plastic. So, of course, and you can see even more now that because we don't clean the beach so much because there is no tourists on the beach anymore, that they leave the trash like that, and there is so many plastic. And sometimes we are not able to access in water because of plastic. Can you imagine that? You go with divers, okay guys, let's go to dive, we have a beautiful sea, it's really calm, and you are around, this is like a trash
Layer of trash.
layer
Like
of
a
trash
land.
everywhere, and we can't access to water. Imagine how is it bad. And
This happens in Ahmed.
yeah, I mean, luckily not always, but in
Sometimes.
According with
during
the
the rainy
season
season.
and the
And it's not
current.
trash from Ahmed. Some trash you can see, it's like years and years already in water. They come maybe from Java or from another part of the world with a current, and you get this trash in Ahmed. So it's all over the world a bit like that now. So there is a way too much plastic and really bad things. So it doesn't look better.
You think there is a solution for this?
Not sure, because when we get a solution, it's like a drop in the water, like, okay, it's getting a bit better to not put any plastic bag in the shop. It's still good, right? But if you save one plastic bag, but you put a full truck of bag of trash at the
No
same
solution.
time, it's difficult. So I think it has to be politic. I think it's really nice to tell people and to teach them. There has to be a really strong political decision to stop all this crap, because otherwise it will take.
And I think it's
really
bad for everybody. Means that
Yeah.
that somebody that politically doesn't support the cleaning and avoid the production of plastic is not doing nothing for
Yeah.
the good sake of everybody,
Yeah,
even
but-
himself.
But in Tahiti, for example, when I arrived in Tahiti in 1999, at the beginning we had many plastic bags. And then you have a beautiful lagoon and you have plastic bags. Shit,
Wow.
it's not nice. But then one political decision decided, okay guys, now there is just reusing, you can reuse bags that we give you in the supermarket. We exchange, you pay like $1 a bag, but you can exchange for free when it's broken. So, you just pay once, basically. And then no more plastic bag in the shop. And 2 months later, we didn't see any plastic bags in the
water.
or in the beach, or so it's a strong decision. It has to be like that. So it starts already in Ahmed, for example. In most shops, you have less plastic bags, but you have still so many little bags for anything. So that's it's just the plastic bags to do grocery shopping. Actually, you don't see them too much, but you see so much other kind of plastic.
The
in
packaging.
Packaging.
The packaging.
Yeah, it's terrible, the packaging.
And you are in Bali.
Mm.
Do you feel this is a beautiful place to live?
Of course, this
You,
is
you
why
are
I-
happy being here.
Yeah. Now I'm here already more than 6 years. So
Mhm.
of course, a beautiful place as that shows, right? And I decided to do my life here and to set up my business here, my living, and to create the best facilities for freediving that I was dreaming of. So of course, it's a beautiful place. I love people here. My staff work with me from the beginnings, like family. So yeah, I feel home as well. Of course.
So if me and Francisco want to do some freediving, where we come
So
to look for you?
yeah, so now 6 years ago, I decided to create the best facilities for freediving, where you can. It was actually for me. I said, okay, for me as well. If I do good for me, it will be good for the others. Right?
Exactly.
So I said, okay, I want the best swimming pool. I want a nice restaurant when I can, after training, get enough food. something like that. I want to do yoga and stretching. I want to sleep well. So I decided to build a freediving resort where you can find all of that for freediving.
That's where I met you.
Yeah, when you met
Waiting for spaghetti.
Spaghetti Del Mar.
And it's in Ahmed.
in
And I met beautiful place.
Yeah.
Beautiful swimming pool, beautiful hut. It's next to the beach. It's really
So this is really in front of the freediving spot in Gemeluk Bay where you can find deep enough. We have our buoy just where you dive. And I wanted to create this village already 6 years ago. Of course, for the last 1 year and a half, it's really slow. We used to be very busy. Now we just survive. I don't know for how long.
I think
but
everybody's surviving in
just survival mode, yeah. But
this podcast is a survival mode, you see. Let's cut the crap, it's the true story. Yeah, we are trying to do something. No, the reason we are doing this, and we spoke about, we are putting all the community visible, and this is where the world meets. It's in Bali.
Of course. Yes,
so let's show to the world what kind of people are living here.
Yes, that's what I was
So, Marco, you have...
So, my friend.
You are closing it. Usually I close it, you open, now you close today.
I want to say to our friend that are watching us that sorry for our English.
No, broken English.
It's a broken English.
Well, we have a French gentleman,
French,
Italian and a Portuguese. I'm so sorry to the viewers, I'm speaking to the camera. I know that we are not fluent in English, but this is the language that 90% of the foreigners speak in Bali. They spoke broken English. Sorry for that, but it's real. And we try to do our best not to upset people who are very purist in the language.
I hope I understand us very well, and see you in Ahmed for every
thank you, Serena. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Simonetta. Thank you, Tegar. Thank you, Aru.